was such a good poem, Aaron.
Thank
I
you.
can't believe we did.
We
It took
nailed it.
this long to get to your best poem ever.
My best work yet.
And we really, struck lightning in a bottle. I feel like the special guest having Ryan Reynolds on the pod, like that, I can't believe it.
With the Hugh Jackman cameo?
Right!
Man.
Oh! I hate you.
Rhyme or free, it doesn't matter to me. It's my bad poetry. Good day, and welcome to My Bad Poetry, a podcast where we take a deep dive into our poems from youth, yesteryear, or even yesterday, always asking the question, why in the world did I write this? I'm Aaron.
And I'm Dave.
And together this week, we are looking at a poem from my high school work. No guests this week. We're back at it.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
No, Dave, I'm the one who's supposed to say sorry in advance.
Yeah, but I'm just sorry, always.
That's fair. So we're returning to these poems without a home, Dave.
No Wolf Journal.
No Wolf Journal today. It's another one that is found exclusively in the Thoughts of a Boy print edition, or typed edition, shall we say, from Microsoft 97 or whatever that Word document was.
Yeah.
So to bring us into the realm of poetry, why don't you give us what you've written?
I would like to say, today as I was writing this poem, my wife asked me...
Dave! No,
what?
I have to stop you here.
Yeah?
We were scheduled to record back on Tuesday of last week.
Yep.
You had to cancel.
Yep.
And then Friday, our go-to, was the plan.
Yep.
And you had to cancel.
Yep.
We are recording this last minute. This is basically live because I will have no time to edit this.
Yep.
And you're telling me.
Yep.
You wrote it this morning.
Yep.
Okay, continue.
If it helps, I had written poems for those other days. I wrote one on Tuesday and I thought, this is too bad even for me. I was reading it afterwards and it was a haiku. And I actually, I finally counted the syllables and it was 483. Not even kind of a haiku.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I wrote a poem this morning.
So you were writing it this morning, and your wife?
My wife asked me, maybe you should print out all of your poems. Wouldn't that be fun? And all I could think was, yeah, I always need a book to burn, or we need texts that people can look at and realize why humanity is falling apart. So I think that might happen.
Okay, well, to be clear, this show does not condone book burning. So
really,
shame on you, Dave.
We don't condone book burning or book bans or any of that stuff.
No, that's
why? Because we believe in the free enterprise and free expression of thoughts and ideas, and the fact that book burnings are horrible and terrifying and kind of a sign of fascism.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Oh,
that.
okay.
So even when you do print your poems, because like we were talking about with our guest Nolcha, after I stopped the recording, I do think it would be fun to have your poems all in one place. So when we do, we will not burn it. We will distribute it freely for all who love our show to go back and reminisce.
I desperately thought you were going to say, we will not burn it, we will destroy it. And I thought we were going to have to take a trip to Hawaii to throw it into a volcano.
So I think you're just delaying this.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
So this is a poem called Ode to My Joy. Music, music, on the front steps, mandolin and Aiken drum. Singing, talking, laughing, giggling, kids are yelling, having fun. Unexpected, not the plan now. Quarantine like COVID times. Still, we seek the fun together, sharing simple bliss divine.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you're obviously stealing Ode to Joy's structure and rhythm.
Is that a poem? I've never.
Yeah, I mean, that's the English translation. So, I
Oh,
mean,
okay. Well, I mean, if it helps, I was thinking like we would have orchestration behind this,
oh,
but I feel like I kind of have to get my feet wet in
yeah,
writing
you might need to
orchestration.
write like 8 before this one.
Yeah, I was thinking 7 or 8. Yeah.
7 or 8. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then the ninth one you could set this to
Yeah,
that
exactly.
music.
Have like a chorale or like a choral. If you don't get the joke yet, I can't be more obvious, but also I'm not smart enough to be more obvious, so it's not your fault if you don't get the joke. You're welcome.
Yeah. So, Ode to Your Joy.
Ode to my joy. Yeah.
Your family was hit with the plague this week.
Good times.
Yeah.
Not COVID, but others.
Yeah, but you found that simple bliss?
Yeah, I had my mandolin and I was doing Aiken drum with the kids, so what are Aiken drum's ears made out of? And they have to come up with a food. And we sing the little song, and it was pretty fun.
Okay. Well, we have spent a good portion of time on the lead up to this, and that's good because what I have for us today is a monostitch, Dave.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Is it monotonous in its monostitchery?
No, it's a failed monostitch in the fact that when I wrote it, I didn't know what monostitches were, and I wrote it in 2 lines.
Every time you write poetry, it's a failed attempt at poetry.
Yeah, so I would say this should be a monostitch, but I have written a couplet. You ready?
No. Like, you can't... I am learning so much about poetry through your lack of knowledge of poetry, and it is phenomenal.
We are learning together, Dave. It is a mutual experience as we dive into this mystery of words.
Oh, gosh. Let's jump into this.
This is the poem titled Day. A day is a reaction of the past, an extension of a lifetime.
That's it?
That's it. It's a monostitch.
That's it.
That's it.
It's not a monostitch. It's a couplet.
Well, yes, like I said, I wrote it in 2 lines. I think it reads better as a monostitch, in that it is one thought. But back when I didn't know anything in high school, decided that 2 lines is better than 1, because that's poetry.
Just a comma and an enter.
Yep.
Ah, you're the worst.
And I capitalized N for the second line. Which is
Why?
Why? Because I don't know.
No, I wasn't asking why you capitalized. I was asking why. I feel like I don't ask that enough. You say it in the intro every week, asking why did I write this? But I feel like I don't just look up at the sky with my arms held aloft and scream into the heavens. Why?
Honestly, I have no context to this one. Let's see. I can look up where it landed in the typed edition. Because if you remember, the theory was that these 4 that have come out of just the typed are themselves reactions to what I am transcribing from the Wolf Journal. So Day lands in between The Hall, which we covered, another one that was written just for this document, and Silence. Yep. Silence, the first one, which was itself very definitional and very garbagey.
Yeah.
So we have The Hall, which was probably an exploration of life, maybe a metaphor for death.
It was words on a page.
It was words on a page, yeah. And then we get Day here.
So the poem is called Day, and it starts with a day.
Mm-hmm. It's very similar to Silence, which starts with silence is when. Mm-hmm. And this is a day is. Oof.
I was noticing that about when I was trying to write my poem today, how many of my poems start with a gerund. Like, it's always starting with, like, running to the door or walking by, it's always an ing verb, a gerund. And when you see your patterns laid out before you, it's rough. Especially when it's such a terrible pattern like day, a day, silence, silence.
Yeah, my inspiration was Webster Dictionary. That's where I found all my greatest poems.
I assumed it was from Merriam, but that's fine if it's Webster.
Well, what did Tolkien write for?
The Lord of the Rings.
But he wrote...
Yeah, I know.
He wrote, like, the W's in one of those dictionaries.
Oh, really?
It might have been... I think it might have been Oxford. Oxford Dictionary.
I thought he edited, but I didn't know that he actually wrote definitions.
No, if you read the definition for walrus in the Oxford Dictionary, those are Tolkien's words. So, there you go.
Does that fit in with his canon?
I don't know. The Anor and the Mayar, I don't think they ever sang about walruses, but Ulma, the god of the ocean, maybe he rode a walrus. Wouldn't that be cool?
As you were doing all of that, I was showing you what actual silence was.
Oh.
So that you could better understand poetry.
We're talking about days, though.
Okay. I'm going to move the light that I have. Is that better? This is what a day is like, Aaron. It is not a reaction of the past. What is a reaction of the past? Explain yourself.
Okay. When did the movie Butterfly Effect come out? That Ashton Kutcher classic, which
the only thing I remember from that is the desk and the out pages thing, and he slams in the holes in the hands.
I never saw the movie, so I don't know.
Oh, it's a surprisingly good movie.
Okay,
from what I remember, but I will never ever watch it again because oof.
Yeah, 2004. Okay, so. I think the Butterfly Effect became kind of that introduction to philosophy for a lot of people our age of that concept. It was in the zeitgeist at the time. This would have been written 2 years after the fact, maybe 2006. So, I mean, being a Midwesterner in Ohio, that was probably about the time that the Butterfly Effect movie was like in our lexicon.
Yeah.
Because it takes a while, especially pre-internet days.
That's
my best guess is that a day is a reaction of the past is my Butterfly Effect idea. Is that this day that we are living is a reaction. We have a butterfly upstairs. That is the culmination of everything that came before it. The leaves that it ate, the day it cocooned, or crystallized. Chrysalisted?
I think you can use the noun cocoon, or the verbalized form of cocooned.
Oh, cool.
Because a chrysalis is a specialized type of cocoon.
Cool. So, the butterfly itself, I don't care about the whole butterfly wing causing a tsunami. The butterfly itself is a culmination of every day before it.
So you're trying to turn this into a we have no free will argument because we exist in a universe with natural laws of gravity and attraction and all of these things, and the outcome of your life is just the product of what has happened before you?
Yes. I don't know.
That makes this poem so much worse because I hate that argument. It's terrible.
But each reaction to the past is yet an extension of your lifetime. So one could argue.
In what way is it an extension to your lifetime?
Well, how old are you? You're 33 years and so many days, right? So many hours, so many seconds.
Isn't it true that every second is an extension of your lifetime?
Yes. So to take the wisdom of my high school self.
What about every day after you have died? Is that an extension of your lifetime?
Not according to this poem.
I
think. I don't know. But if we take the poem at its essence, the day is a reaction to the past, right? So you're arguing predestined. Everything is a reaction of everything is.
That's what I'm hearing in this.
Is the domino. But I would say the second line or the second half of this monostitch, the extension, would you say?
Dear listeners, huge eye roll there from me. Okay.
The second half of this being an extension of a lifetime, it is an invitation for you to make decisions in this moment, in this day, that will impact the next day, that you will be reacting to tomorrow. So, in essence, you have a chance to change the trajectory of your life with each new day as you extend your life. But what happens tomorrow is a reaction of what you did today.
So each day is defined by the past, but we have opportunities as our life is extended to make choices.
Yes?
This is so dumb. Like, you are really, like, this is some freshman level, I just took philosophy 101. I'm gonna jump into this whole hog. And really, the origin and understanding of this poem is a day is just a part of life.
Yep.
It doesn't need to have a deeper meaning than that. I can actually appreciate poetry that is just, a day is a day. If you look for more meaning, you'll find it, but you might be reading too much into it anyway. So maybe a day is just a day.
So this is a day in the life. Sure.
That would also make this, that would be a better title.
That's a Beatles song.
No, I understand that. I also thoroughly dislike the Beatles. Just putting them on blast for no reason.
Okay, yeah. I'm leaving that in.
Yeah, good.
Well, I don't think we'll get this day back.
No.
Yeah. Good or garbage, Dave?
Okay. What I've got for you is a metaphor of brewing. Have you ever made cold brew before?
I never have. I'm always curious. Isn't it just making hot brew and then putting it in the fridge or freezer?
No.
Okay.
I mean, that's often how I make my cold brew because I'm a very fancy boy.
Mm-hmm.
I just take the leftover pot and cool it off. But to do it properly, you put coffee in, like you put coffee grounds in water, in cold water, you let it sit, and it extracts over time. It's like a slow process of growth in character and choices. And this poem, I would say, feels like you had 6 gallons of water and you reached your hand into a big ol' bin of coffee. And whatever stuck to your hand, you just waved it over the 6 gallons of water. And that's what you're calling cold brew.
I'll take it.
No, you shouldn't.
No, I'll take it. I agree. This is not a good poem. It is not even a proper poem in that it should be a monostitch and it's written as a couplet. I failed on so many levels here. But you did not call it homeopathic coffee. You got close. It's not homeopathic coffee, so I'll take it.
You then take drops out of that one and put it into another 6 gallons, and then you take drops out of that one.
Yeah.
Water has memory, you're drinking dinosaur pee.
There you go. Because a day
is an extension of life.
No, it's a reaction of the past. We're going to end this week with the words of a true poet. This is, I looked up a real monostitch as a good example of like what a monostitch could be. So this is called Nostalgia from Giannina Braschi, translated by Tess O'Dwyer. Nostalgia is a fruit with the pain of distance in its seed.
So that has a metaphor in it.
Yeah.
Rather than just being a statement.
And what I love about this is it's the same structure. It's a monostitch that's essentially trying to define something. It's like it's definitional in its nature, but it's doing so much more.
I would like you to read the title of the poem and then the first word of the poem.
Okay, so this is nostalgia. And it goes like this. Nostalgia.
So maybe you're not so terrible after all.
Yeah, you were giving me so much crap this episode.
Well, again, I don't know things about poetry.
The reason why I picked this one is because I was so happy to find like a genuinely good example of what my high school self was apparently attempting to do.
Poetry's messed up, man.
Yeah.
What a waste of time. I can't believe anybody reads poetry. It just seems so...
This has been My Bad Poetry.
I apologize to all of our guests who have written amazing poetry and have really helped me to grow as an individual and as a father. Now go write some of your own bad poetry.
Whoop whoop. Man, it's been a while since we recorded just us. I forgot how rude you are.
Yeah, you forgot how much of a douche I am. It a little bit feels like a muscle I haven't flexed in a while.
Don't get a strain there, Dave. Rhyme free doesn't matter.